With one of the big heads, we're gonna make crispy barbecue carp.
With Asian carp, or any fish that people might consider sketchy, you kind of get one first chance at getting people to try it. So I'm gonna stick with the recipe I know, something I think people enjoy. All I've done here is just add a little bit of cornstarch, some pepper, and some Rufus Teague fish rub. Now, I'm coating all the fish evenly, but don't think of it as like deep frying with like a thick coating. Think of it as just a simple little covering. Should look about like that. That is perfect. Over medium-high heat, I'm just gonna add olive oil, just enough to coat the pan, not too deep. Let that get hot and shimmery. We're gonna throw in our onions, throw in our celery, and peppers. Just cook these down for like 4 or 5 minutes. The onions will start to get pretty clear and everything will get pretty tender. All right, those are pretty cooked down. I'm trying to leave a lot of oil in the pan for cooking the fish, but obviously can't keep it all. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. That'll get hot really quick. Basically, I wanna make sure there's oil on the bottom so they're all cooked pretty evenly, and flip them. Most are pretty much the same thickness, but you gotta kind of watch it. You might have to flip the thin ones a little sooner. The overwhelming reason why people don't want to eat this fish is because they've got intermuscular bones, and those are kind of a pain in the butt. Now, I grew up eating northern pike, which it's always said that they have like a different set of rib cage, but you've always had to cut around that, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to get to the meat, but it can be worth it. Now, they eat plankton. Because they eat plankton, their meat is actually extremely mild, which is what people look for when they're making fish. And when something is mild, it kind of takes on the attributes of whatever you cook it in, which is why we're doing like, you know, the onions and the peppers and the spices and that sort of thing. Honestly, it makes it pretty good. It works out to be about 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Now, it is worth noting, Asian carp, because they don't eat the same things that like common carp do, they're not bottom feeders whatsoever, which means that they tend to be lower as far as contaminants go when you hear about PCBs and unhealthy fish. So as far as that goes, they're actually pretty healthy. In addition to that, the big head and silver carp, which are the guys that we were shooting, they are 2 of the most commonly, and as far as like volume goes, produced fish for food in the entire world. It's just Americans that can't seem to kind of get over it. It's kind of like the first time you have rat. You know, you have to kind of work yourself up to it to actually try it, but once you do, no, it's not that bad whatsoever. All right, the final ingredients are a tablespoon of butter, a half tablespoon of cumin, half of a lemon, and then we'll do a tablespoon of honey. I'm gonna be honest, it smells pretty good. I would at least serve it to a mother-in-law. All jokes aside, this fish really just needs a better PR campaign behind it. It has to get people interested in it and give a fresh look to think about eating it. But any good PR campaign needs a good product. And that is irreplaceable. That is pretty good. Honest to God, if you went out, caught these, ate this, you'd be really happy. So just keep the slime off it, give it a try. This isn't going to completely stop the Asian carp. The silver carp, the big head, they're all gonna keep moving northward. We need to eat as many of these as possible, get as many out of the waterway as possible. That way, we can get the infrastructure in place to protect the Great Lakes and other waters. But until then, this is a great way to slow them down.